Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video it's going to be slightly different. I actually put something on my story the other day that you guys didn't know about me, and I had so many questions about it. So I thought I may as well just shove it all in a video and then you guys can come and watch it. And the question that, well, no, not the question. The fact about me that was shared was that I had brain surgery. And that I was in a coma. I had so many messages about what happened and, like, when did this happen? How did you recover? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to pop it all in a video and tell you about it. Now, I do have to say that it is slightly traumatic for me to think about. It is actually where my health anxiety has stemmed from. So if you do suffer with health anxiety and you can't watch 24 hours in A&E like I can't, then I would probably say skip this video because, yeah, it gets not slightly gruesome because I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's quite like a scary experience to have been through. And yeah, I would rather have not happened to me, but it did. So what can you do about it? So what happened was I was 6 years old, so it was just before my 7th birthday. I was about a month away from my 7th birthday, and all I remember from that day was my mum bought me a brand new t-shirt that I absolutely loved. It was all like multicolored and it had like really weird stitching. I used to love really, and I still do, really unique things. So I just remember thinking, cannot wait to go outside and share this with my friends. We used to live in a cul-de-sac, so we used to have like kind of lanes and quiet lanes of houses all around, and there used to be like a ton of children out and about that I used to go out and play with. So I put on my new t-shirt, I went outside and just started playing with everybody. Then I asked my sister about what happened because I obviously can't remember. So she said, like, we were playing some like running game or something, or running down like a slopey driveway, and we always used to play with a girl who was older than us. I think she was about 5 years older than us, and she had picked me up, so I was facing her and she was running. So she was running down the driveway apparently with me in her arms, and she tripped and fell, and I smacked my head against the corner of the curb. And then she fell on top of me, so I had then a double whack to my head. And apparently my sister said I just started screaming, crying, and then all of a sudden was just like silent, and then opened my eyes and was like, who am I, where am I, and what am I doing here? Apparently that's what I said. And then I was out cold, and so my sister and the friend was like running, trying to run back to the house to get mum, and the neighbour saw me, so she came running out and she scooped me up and took me to mum's. Now I remember hearing, honestly, like, this is the weirdest bit, I remember hearing my sister scream, is she dead, is she dead, and mum saying, Amy, come on, like, stop playing around now, because I used to mess around quite a lot with mum. Like, I used to want to be an actress and I used to act things out. She was like, you're scaring mummy now, Amy, please, like, tell me you're okay. And I remember thinking to myself, tell mum you're okay, like, move your hand, like, open your eyes, like, do something. Like, I knew I was, like, not trapped. I didn't feel trapped. I didn't panic. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel like something was wrong. I just wanted to tell mum that I was okay. It's such a weird feeling to remember, and it's sort of something that kind of like scares me a little bit, because I'm really scared, like, the whole I can't even talk about like dying and death and stuff because it gets me so scared, but it like made me think like, oh my god, like, well, I'm stuck in my own conscious kind of thing, and you can't like act. Like, that scared me. But in that moment, like, whatever was happening in my body, I think it was adrenaline and other hormones that your body produces when you have like accidents, I was just calm. Like, it's so weird. Where we used to live, it wasn't very easy to find, so the ambulance actually didn't end up arriving, so my mum shoved me in the car and her friend drove us to Western Hospital, and then from Western Hospital they put me straight into an induced coma. They took CT scans, saw the bleed on the brain, took me from Western Hospital all the way to French A in Bristol and started surgery immediately. And all I remember then is waking up and seeing my mum and my nan at the bottom of my hospital bed with a bright teddy bear at the end of the bed. And I remember thinking, like, oh, that's so bright. And I had tubes in my throat. I had like, honestly, like 2 things in each arm. I had like one of those things that go up there to help you pee. Honestly, I had it all. Yeah, so I had 4 hours of surgery. I had a bleed on the brain, and I had 40 stitches in my head. And I still have a hole. I think they call it a burr hole or something, where they removed part of the skull so they could get the blood or the clot or whatever it was out of my brain. So I have a hole there. It's very sensitive. When hairdressers are washing my hair, like, it actually feels like sometimes someone's actually touching my brain, because I'm sure they probably kind of are pushing into my brain a little bit. So yeah, it's very sensitive, and I've only ever hit it once, but I'm terrified of hitting my head. It's like one of my worst fears, and whenever I do, I honestly just cry all day because I'm like, am I okay? But yeah, so that's what happened. So I was in 4 hours of surgery, had all of that done, and then I was in a coma for a few days because if you don't know, normally what happens if you have a brain injury, they let your brain recover. So the only way to do that is to keep you very still and sedate you and put you in an induced coma. So yeah, if any of you are from Bristol, do you remember Frenchay Hospital? I was actually at the children's ward there. I remember it so well. It was so nice. All the nurses and doctors were so lovely to me. And I was there for 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks. So yeah, I was in hospital for that long. And so once I came around, I was being sick like all the time. It was horrible. I couldn't remember anyone to start with. I literally couldn't remember anybody's faces apart from mums and nans. Like, people, like my whole family, I'm Greek, so if you're Greek you will understand that everyone turned up to the hospital, like literally everybody. And I couldn't remember anybody's face apart from my mum and my nans. Didn't know who anyone was, couldn't remember. And I don't think it ever really came back, to be honest. Like, I think I just learned from a young age that that was who these people were. I remember things from before my surgery, so I'm really, really lucky, touch wood. And they told my mum that when I was to come around, they don't know if I would have like any disabilities, if I wouldn't be able to talk, walk. So I couldn't actually remember how to walk. They had to like train me again. I was in a wheelchair for quite some time, and I also had no hair, so I had a hat on most of the time. So I had to learn how to walk again. Like, they would give me like lessons about writing and reading, but I was still quite young, so I wasn't very good anyway. I made friends with 2 lovely girls in the hospital, and the girl that was my best friend in there was called Olivia, and she unfortunately had a brain tumour that was reoccurring. And the one thing that literally like hurts my soul is she literally passed away the day that I left hospital. And I was actually supposed to go to hers and have a look at her new bedroom that her parents painted for her. So yeah, that was very sad, and I remember being really sad about that, because she was like my one friend in there. And then the other girl broke her back. I actually can't remember what her name was, but she broke her back. And I met so many people in there. But yeah, so like that is literally what happened to me. It's like a really scary experience for someone at 6. I feel like you're just discovering the world, and you're just discovering like you shouldn't be faced with reality of like death at 6. I don't think, like, that's quite traumatic for a child. So I think, yeah, that's where it kind of like stemmed from. And obviously hearing the words like, you're so lucky to be alive right now, you could have died, everybody knows how bad a brain injury is. Like, it's not like a good thing to happen to you. Like, it's really not. So yeah, that is what happened to me. I wasn't at school for about 6 months, and I was finally allowed back at school. Obviously I had a hat on because my hair was growing back, but I had to wear a helmet in the playground, so everyone knew me as Helmet Head. So I ended up not going out in the playground because I didn't want to wear a helmet, so I ended up just staying in the library every lunchtime, and I was like 7, so that was fun. And I remember the first day I was allowed my helmet off, there was a boy and he like bashed me and my friends' heads together, and that was it. He got so told off, and then I was stuck back in again because they didn't want that on their hands. So yeah, I remember that. But I've still got scars, so when you look at the bottom of my head, you can like feel the scar here, and it runs all the way up here, and then it goes all the way across my head there. So if you shave my head, I'd have a really ugly head. So yeah, I had like a tube coming out of my head either side to drain all the fluid. So yeah, I looked pretty cray-cray. Oh yeah, so on the day that I was getting my stitches out, they gave me a sedative. And if you know me, like I fight everything I possibly can. So I was just like, my body just fights like things like sedatives, but then it will take effect. And because people have given me a bit more than I've already needed, because it wasn't working straight away, I'm zonked. They gave me like 3 lots and then they were like, we can't give her any more. Like, that's really dangerous. So they ended up just spraying my head with like this freeze stuff because I was really excited to go to like this Halloween party at the hospital. I was so excited. Anyway, had all my stitches out, was good as gold. Like, it was really sore and it was quite painful, but you know, most of the part I couldn't really feel it because of the freeze spray. And I just got back to my bed and that was it. I was out. I was out like a light, like missed the whole Halloween party, missed the whole firework display, like missed it all. But yeah, so I never do anything in halves. The only bone I've broken is my skull and well, actually my little finger as well. But yeah, so yeah, that is literally what happened to me. So good times. Good times. I wish you could forget some memories though. Like, I wish I could forget some. There's some things I have, everybody knows who knows me really well, knows I have the most amazing memory. Things just stick in my mind, like, and I will not forget. And being so young and having something like that really stick, like a lot of people thought she's really young, she'll forget about it. And like, I really didn't. And I had an MRI about a year ago now, and they said that they can see where they entered in the brain and took the blood out and sucked it out and took a bit away. So yeah, you can still see it, which is mad. But I'm very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. It's been, wow. Oh my gosh, it's been, so it would have been 20 years in October. Um, so yeah, that is literally the story. It's quite dramatic, isn't it, really? So anyway, I hope you guys are okay. Please let me know down below if you guys have ever experienced anything like this. I do find it really hard to talk in detail about it because I can't try and kind of forget about it. But yeah, it's something that's happened to me. It's my experience, it's my past, and it's kind of like made me who I am today. And I just can't watch 24 hours in A&E or anything life-threatening because I will literally freak out. But yeah, the nurses and doctors are honestly incredible. We are so lucky to have the NHS and they saved my life. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this morbid but great ending of a story. And take care, and I'll see you in the next one.